Hey, this is Judah Mantel for SceneForge Studio, and in this video I'm going to go over version 0.6.22. It has a major overhaul to the way the external camera rendering system works. That'll make your life a lot easier when working with in-camera VFX and virtual production, as well as just collaboration and working with your scenes and getting a better view of them on multiple displays or larger displays. So let's jump right in. So I have this scene here, I'm in shoot mode, and I have a scene with an aspect ratio of 1.4 by 3 or 1.43, and previously if I wanted to output this to another window on my computer, there was a basic toggle over here to do so. It worked, but it was very basic and rudimentary and didn't have that much customization options. It didn't have any, to be precise. Now that button has been moved over here as a more robust toggle, meaning that if you want to use the existing system, you can just turn it on like that, and you can see now this is rendering at the same resolution as the shoot mode viewfinder, and you can turn it off by clicking it again. Now it's going to default to the same resolution as this, meaning that by default it's 1080p at whatever aspect ratio you set. So if you want this to be used for collaboration or just viewing elsewhere, you can use this as is. For example, I'm going to move this to my second monitor, and I can go back into stage mode, and now I have a much larger view of what the camera sees than this. So I can close this here, and I have a full scale, full resolution preview of it on my right. But of course, this is just what shoot mode sees. But if you wanted to do something with in-camera VFX and more advanced virtual production, you're going to want more control over what that video signal and what that window is showing. That's where this configuration menu comes into play. So we can open that up by clicking here, and you'll see you get a bunch of options for width, height, top, and left offset. Now what all of this means is as follows. The first thing you'll see is a display preset. This will basically detect all of your available displays. In this case, I'm using a small preview window for testing, so it's a lot smaller than my actual monitor resolution. But if you select one of these, it'll just set these width and height properties to that. But if you wanted to set them manually, you can. So for this example, I'll make it 500 by 600, just for this example. Or actually make it 600 by 500. And you can see that rather than using the aspect ratio that we set, it'll use the specific size. So it's great for if you have a specific display, a large LED wall, for example, you can simply type in the resolution and it'll use that. So that can get pretty high in certain situations. Next, we have the top and left offset. Now, when these are set to 0, that means that it's going to start, the top left corner of the new window is going to start in the top left corner of your display. So if you want to make something full screen, you would set this to the size of your display, make this 0, 0, and make this borderless, meaning that you can't move the window around. And that'll effectively make a full screen window that you can still switch back and forth between, but when it's enabled, it is a full screen window that you can put up on any LED wall or wherever you want. So an example of the top and left offset, if I have two monitors, and the one on my right is 1080p, and the one on my center is about 1,000 pixels wide, let's say, for the left offset, I would make this 1,000 because I want the window to start 1,000 pixels to the right. Or if the center monitor is my main one, I can do negative 1,000 and that'll move it over. So keep that in mind when you're working with this system. The top and left offset is very important. 0, 0 is just the top left corner of your main active display, or where the actual SceneForge window is. So once you open this up, you can set this to whatever you want. I have the little window here. And because this is more customizable and assumes you're going to be using higher resolutions, it will blank out the shoot mode viewfinder while you're doing that. You can still click and drag to control the camera, but because it's mainly used for in-camera VFX, you're not going to see it there. But you can always turn it off and it'll go back to the default view. So for collaboration and for scene editing, you want to just click this button simply, and you can put this anywhere and it'll be duplicated, or you can open up the window for more customization. So that is basically everything in this release. I'm really excited about it because it opens the door for so much more possibilities, so many more possibilities for what you can do with the system. I will see you in the next video.